have unleashed the unthinkable, and hell is upon the earth. In the post-apocalyptic world we now live in, it is not what it used to be. Today there's so much pain, heartache, and suffering. Let me tell you a story. It all began in the future, in the year 2041. There's this one man who is now called the Renegade. He is sitting back, thinking about all the signs that led up to this, taking events that have already happened, and reading about past posts that was dropped on a little unknown Facebook page. That page was instrumental in who he had become. He wishes he could have made many decisions that could have altered the timeline, and it could have saved many innocent lives that were lost so long ago. If only the world would have listened, our future might not have turned out like this. So say a prayer that we correct the timeline before it is too late. Welcome to the Renegade Network. I am your host, or as I sign on Facebook post, as R, and that's for the Renegade. Now, this is going to be the last broadcast for the decade, for the 2019 season. I hope everybody's, let me turn my mic down just a little bit. It looks like it's a little too high for everybody. All right, let's try that right there. Is that a little bit better? I'm going to look to see if I got some, let's go ahead and go on up to probably. Everything's live, so you just have to bear with us. You know, sometimes when you're doing a live show, you have audio issues, you have technical difficulties, and it's part of it, especially when you're being shadow banned. I don't know who's not being shadow banned right now. If you're speaking the truth, you're being shadow banned left and right. Well, let's just see what we got on topic. But hold up. Before I do that, I want to let you know, you can find us on every social media platform. Now, tonight I'm going to do something that I have been trying to do. If you're watching on YouTube right now, or if you're watching on Facebook Live right now, I will not have time to look at all the comments or live and reply to them in real time. It's because I'm going to have so many chats going. I got a lot going on. This is going to be a big show. A lot of stuff to cover. I had been kind of down and with my health and everything for the last little while. So I've been I was supposed to broadcast last week, but I never got around to it. And I apologize. But please look for us on any, like I said, any platform. Facebook, Twitter. Of course, you're probably watching me on Facebook or YouTube right now. We got, who else we got? We got Instagram. We have, just all the standard social media platforms. But let's see what we got on tonight's show. Tonight's show, we have, let me throw my little blue box up for the topic. We're going to be covering post from December 18th to the 30th. That's what I'm saying. Please, if you're not following our Facebook page, please do. It's easy, Facebook, TRN 24/7. That's an easy way of finding us, or just search for the Renegade Network and look for my little mask, my little logo. But like I said, we're going to have us a lot to cover, and we need to get started. As my little buddy always says, all right, let's get started. So, you don't have to go through the Facebook post, because I'm going to go ahead and throw them up here on the screen for you. We'll go ahead and read them, and let's just talk about it. I will talk about them, and then after the show, we can discuss it. But like I said, in the meantime, I won't be having anybody come in on the show like I normally do. It's just trying something different. Let's see. It says Robert. This was on post December 19th at 8:20, or is it 6:25 in the morning, or is that 8:25? My eyes are bad. So anyway, um, I posted. I said, Robert, that would be a fucking bad idea there, bud. Um, and what am I referring to on that day? It says, um, it's going to take us patriots to rush into D.C., citizen arrest all these fraudulent rhinos who will stand there with me. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Go ahead. That's all I'm going to say. Go ahead. Go right on ahead and rush right on in. And I'm going to cover uh, later on in the show, I'm gonna touch on some of this even more, and reasons why that's a bad idea right there, bub. I mean, seriously. Now the next post is on December 19th at 8:52 a.m. This goes back to the post below this one. You know what I just said, that would be a bad idea, bub. Let's just see what that post is, because it's been so long. Um, it says communication events in Virginia have brought to light some things we may want to think about. How do we communicate after a blackout? So many questions. Uh, am I the only one with the radios, with frequencies? Do you operate on what frequencies? And this was from Sean, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you this. We for a long time, as the movement, we've had our stuff set up. We had mobile towers. We had a lot of things. But with all the infighting that's going on, um, with all the fake patriots, with all the fake commanders that thinks they're a state leader or whatever, those nets are being held reserved for the real patriots. That's what I'm saying. Not none of these so-called fake triots or patriots that's operating on donations. I mean, I mean, now this one, it's gonna hurt some people. This next post, um, I have to say it's kind of true. The truth hurts at times. Okay, it really does. And that was on December 20th. This is, go back to your own country starter kit. You know, you got your truck, your tactical beard, your wraparound sunglasses, and all those stickers on the back of your truck. You know the kind of folks I'm talking about. The kind that thinks, well, I got a beard and that shit will protect me like my vest and all that. You know, it shoot fucking whatever. I mean, you know those kind of people that tries to blow smoke up your ass, that thinks they're all big and bad, but really you slap the shit out of them and they'll cry like a baby. You know, those kind of people. Let's keep moving on before I get sidetracked again. Because like I said, this show's um, uh, it's a long show, and this is what I said. It's kind of it's true. Okay, the truth hurts at times. Why I say cut that shit off your face and trash them wraparound sunglasses. I mean, folks, you do not know what I'm trying to get at. The look of the patriot movement. Um, you need to clean up your act, okay? Because people are it don't make you look cooler. It don't make you look meaner. It looks like shit. It looks nasty. Some of the stuff, some of these beards are raggedy. And, I mean, the hygiene on your, I would even want to be out in the field with you because, god damn, can you imagine how a motherfucker would stink? I mean, that's just all I'm going to say. I'm old school military. I'm old school. Uh, we didn't have that shit on our face. I don't know what, the cool factor. You know, like I said, that tactical beard is not going to do shit for you in combat. Okay? Let me throw this on up. Okay? I want to open that post on up so you can read it with me. The tactical beard is not going to do shit for you in combat. Like some think their beard is like a vest they wear. It makes them bulletproof or will shoot some shit out in a fight. Okay, let's continue on to read that. Again, to be taken seriously, you must clean up your looks. Your face, your looks, do as you wish. I'm just telling you how it looks really. I'm old school. Remember that. I'm just saying. Y'all don't know how bad it looks. You think it looks cool, but really it don't. Now, the next post that I dropped on December 20th at 7:22. This is what it said. It says, "Are we expecting a mass shooting today? Maybe a different false flag. See something, say something. December 20th. Remember that." Okay. I have reasons, and those reasons, a lot of times you don't understand why I drop things, but the algorithms and the patterns suggest that I get flagged sometimes for certain things, certain events, and that was one of them. Now, on December 20th, of course, I was on the move, uh, going to doing some other things. I hadn't, on that day, I wasn't moving to the family thing like everybody else was, but I was on the move. Um, Now, we've all seen this next letter that was posted, Troll Level 1000. Uh, it, it's satire, okay? It's not a real uh, um, December 21st is when it was posted. It's not a real one. I hope people didn't think it was real, but it says, "Fuck you, cunt." You know, it looks like a official letter. But now, who was it that did it? LBJ or, yeah, that, or Nixon. I think he uh, wrote a letter something similar to this. I'm thinking. But like I said, let's move on. We got a lot to cover. Then there's the letter itself. See, here, again, when I talk about algorithms, the flagging, location, Falls City, Washington, okay, predictive analytics, okay. What people don't understand is Q does the same thing as I do, and I do the same thing as Q does. Um, we look and analyze a lot of things. That's a lot going on. Um, does a person have the ability to see what's coming into the future? That's up to you to decide. Can people predict the future? That's up to you to decide. Also, research Operation Looking Glass. Really pay attention to that. Do you think there's people out there that has that ability? I mean, that's just up to you. Now, here, let me go ahead and open that post up for you and let's read that. Algorithm flag, location, Falls City, Washington, USA, or within 200 miles radius. Future predicted event earthquake 6.0 or higher. That was on December 21st at 6:37. Right there. Remember, Facebook keeps timestamps. Timestamps is a way for you to verify things. Some of the stuff that I post, you need to go back and verify it for yourself. Let's continue on. Warning period December 22nd to January 2nd, 2020. Remember, this is only a flagged event. That's when I posted. Okay, it says false positive occur at times. We're still fine tuning the system. Now, that was I want you to remember that post. I want you to remember that because I will come back to that. I will come back to it. Now, the next one was on December 21st at 7:01 in the morning. I want to know, was she a Q follower? Was this woman connected to any patriot movement? Now, who am I talking about? What am I talking about? It's this woman right here. A woman says she ran over a teen because she thought she was Mexican, and that's what she told the police. Remember that? Go back to your own country starter kit there at the very beginning of the show. Think about that just a second. Just think about it. Let's continue moving on. Oh, now December 22nd. This is so damn true. Um, it's funny, okay, because um, it says nothing says one of us cheated like a joint Facebook account. Okay, I have seen them out there, and I know myself. I know some people, couples that have got the joint Facebook account, and one of them has cheated. It's just all I'm going to say. And when I see it, I just think to myself and do a little inside chuckle. Hmm. December 23rd at 0221. Remember this. Our timelines are not the same. Mine is different from yours. Think about that for a second. I want you to think about that. My timeline is going to be different than yours. Q's timeline is different than yours and mine. We have a different timeline and a different uh, expectation of when things are going to happen, when it should happen, but it don't. Let me see. Next one. December 23rd at 0416. That's 4:16 in the morning. It's got a guy with looking at you, hey, I'm watching you. It says, have you been paying attention? How silent is the news? Let's go ahead and let me open that up for you so you can see it. Have you been paying attention? How silent is the news? Possible false flag. Remember earlier I said, is there a possible false flag? Um, what news needs to cycle? Let's think of the Virginia Senate Bill number 64 declaring tactical training illegal. Okay. Would they do something and use you as a scapegoat? I want you to think the dialect. Why would you send in so many of your good patriots to a location that can get blocked off on all sides? Your reserve force. You got a reserve force. You got communications. Remember that other person I covered? Y'all don't have no communications, not a whole lot. Y'all relying on the internet that could be shut down. Do you have evacuation plans? Hell no, you don't. Maybe one or two you do, but not all of you. I see you will place so many of your eggs in one basket that it's an easy roundup to remove you off the board. Remember this, 5 agents per 1 patriot. Many are working the crowd. Why are so many known so-called patriots calling for you to go? Is it more money for you to donate to them? More if they look at me, I'm fake commander that bullshitted you? Are said commanders recognized to the council or the council of councils? Be warned. Remember, you can't find the council, they will find you if you're worthy. I'm not even going to touch on that. I'm not. But if you're a fake patriot or some loudmouth that said something, no, you're not worthy. And I'm going to cover some of them. I'm gonna cover some today. Later on in the show, I'm going to bring them out. December 23rd at 9:08 in the morning. But hold on, before I go through that right there. Let me. Ooh. Let me read something to you. I think I have well, when I said everybody was the fake patriots or the people loudmouth that's trying to, it said, I ran up, there's thousands of cops, veterans, supporters pledged to join a militia in Virginia to combat unconstitutional laws. Things are getting really bad in Virginia. We know that. But for a few groups, is it going down with the fight? I guess a couple weeks ago, law enforcement reported on how Tazewell County, Virginia, is crafting a militia. We've probably heard of that, to defend the Constitution in the state. And within hours, they were flooded with thousands of emails from people across the state, police officers, veterans, patriotic Americans who said they are joining. And it is a movement that is gaining traction across the state. One man wrote, this is what he wrote. He said, I'm a veteran, ex-police, retired, and behind your ideas 100%. Anything I do, I would like to help. I live in Franklin County, which I voted down being a sanctuary city. Being the council is Democratic, a moonshine county, giving up their guns is dumb. The South gave up their flag, their statues, and now they want their guns. Sounds like Hitler's Germany. Another person wrote, said, we have already been rambling locally about, oh no, we've already been rumbling locally about militias being formed last month. We started carefully and quietly assembling patriotic Americans who are prepared to defend freedom at all costs. In the past day, those numbers have swollen. We have a very strong military presence. There's more veterans and both active and retired law enforcement than you can count. As of this evening, we're taking about thousands of people who have expressed an interest in being part of this movement. Here's the idea. Like I said, last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever I was live last, I reported on how lawmakers in Virginia were threatening to use the National Guard if members of local law enforcement refused to enforce laws passed in the state if they felt violated the Second Amendment. That's what sparked things in Tazewell County, which isn't going down without a fight, okay? On top of calling themselves the Second Amendment Sanctuary County, they are also crafting a militia as well. The Virginia County has taken movement that has swept across the state and added an element that is sure to trigger pro-gun grabbing politicians in the state. On December 10th, the Board of Supervisors from Tazewell County passed two different resolutions in light of controversy circling who are pro-gun. The first resolution declared the county to be a Second Amendment sanctuary. This is not at all surprising to see 76 out of 95 counties, 9 out of 38 independent cities, and 13 towns have adopted Second Amendment sanctuary resolution. The second item on the agenda was proposing the establishment of a militia in the county. When both of these resolutions passed, the crowd cheered loudly in support of the decision. Also, the resolution didn't exactly pass by a small margin. The votes were unanimous, with more than 200 citizens standing by in support. The motion of the creation of the militia had already succeeded in an unofficial way based on the results of a survey conducted earlier in the month by county officials. But board chairman Travis Hackworth said people have persisted to press for the district to declare itself a Second Amendment sanctuary. Hackworth went on to state that there were 3 attorneys on the Board of Supervisors. Many of others' declarations made from other counties in Virginia were closely checked by 3 attorneys, ensuring nothing important would be overlooked or left out or whatever. 2 of the biggest factors in resolutions such as these can be boiled down to funding and prosecution. All right. The resolutions in Tazewell County would remove funding from any law enforcement department that would infringe residents' right to keep and bear arms. Yet, the state wanted to combat the resolutions. They could deny the county funding in areas other than law enforcement, perhaps attempt to evict public officials from their held offices. These are rather valid fears, considering this week's warning from the Northam and Congressman Mike Etchen. County Administrator Eric Young reportedly considered an element that's why they opted for the militia aspect. And this is what he quoted. Our position is that Article 1, Section 13 of the Constitution of the Virginia reserves the right to order militia to localities. Therefore, counties, not the state, determines what type of arms may be carried in their territory and by whom. So we are ordering the militia by making sure everyone can own a weapon. Thus, if anyone from the state tries to remove the sheriff from their elected office because they refuse to enforce unjust laws, those state officials would be forced with lawful militia composed of citizens within the state. The county is taking their militia element very seriously, as a new ordinance calls for concealed weapons training for any residents of the county that can lawfully own a gun. Other couples sent in this message late Monday. My husband and I are diehard Second Amendment defenders, and if they want our guns, they will have to kill us to get them. But I guarantee that they will not come out of the battle unscathed. We're both disabled, but we would be ready and more than willing to fight side by side with all like-minded brothers and sisters. We are from West, by God, Virginia, and we tell everyone who cares and ask what we think about guns, Second Amendment, that we were born with a gun in our hand, we'll probably die the same way. Guns don't kill people, at least not without the trigger person, it usually by a deranged person or a gang member or a person in the act of robbery, drug running, kidnapping, etc., and usually committed with an illegally purchased non-registered weapon. The left doctored idiots need to realize if they take away legal gun owners' weapons who have been trained to properly handle weapons, they might as well open the doors and announce to criminals to come and get what they want, because criminals will be the only ones to have a gun which was obtained from the black market. Okay, that was a quote from a couple. The county has also called for schools to adopt firearm safety training programs, considering the blue wave that hit the state along with Bloomberg's pouring in millions towards the election. This is a massive win that shows gun owners aren't going to lie down. And as they are pushing to ramp up safety and training, officials within the state are trying to get rid of personal defense. And if it's not bad enough, they're going after firearms. They're going after self-defense measures as well. An amendment to the current law in Virginia has some martial arts companies as well as some citizens concerned, known as SB 64. The bill, according to Self-Defense Company, would initially transform all martial artist instructor into a criminal felons. It also claims that it would criminalize all firearm training classes, including concealed weapon carry classes. According to some, the law would even criminalize a father teaching his own son how to use a hunting rifle. The law, which was initially passed in 1987, relates to the following. A person is guilty of unlawful paramilitary activity punishable by as Class 5 felony if he teaches, demonstrates, or any other persons to use, application, or making of any firearm, explosive, incendiary device, or technique capable of causing injury or death to a person, knowing or having the reason to know or intend that such training will be employed for use in further. Okay, you know how the laws are written. There are two: assembles with one or more persons with the purpose of training with, practicing with, being instructed with use of any firearm, explosive, incendiary device, or causing injury or death to a person. Okay. State Bill SB 64 adds the following language. Assembles one or more persons with the intent of intimidating any person or a group of persons by drilling, parading, or marching with any firearm or any explosive in its. Okay, we've seen them out there. According to the article, the language of the bill is written too wide. I'm not going to go ahead and go through a whole lot of this. Like I said, there's a lot. All right, you can follow who you want to follow. You really can. You can follow who you want to follow. Go down there. But I want you to think who these so-called leaders are. Why are they calling you? It's not. What do they got to gain? Clout, status. Oh, I'm Mr. Leader of the state leader, or blah, blah, blah. Which he's not even sanctioned. No, he's not even recognized. But let him feel good. Let his narcissistic ass and his schizophrenia, whatever he's suffering with, let him. If you want to be cannon fodder, have fun. Now, let's go. Let's keep on moving on. Like I said, I got a lot to cover. December 23rd at 9:08 in the morning. I said if breaking news. Okay, let me go ahead and open that up for you. Breaking news. If you owe me, don't worry about it. If you wrong me, it's all good. If you beefing with me, you won. If we aren't speaking, it's cool. Be safe, and I still wish you well. If I feel I wronged you, I apologize. For real, for real. Life is too short for all the extra unnecessary drama. No one is promised tomorrow. I'm focused on the present and the future. Live, love, and keep it moving. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to y'all from the Renegade Network. Now, I posted that because a lot of people are always wanting to rush, and always want to bicker back and forth. I don't have time to bicker back and forth. I tell you that right now. Um, Next post will be popping up is December 23rd at 9:16 in the morning. Boeing fires top boss Muhlenberg over failure to deal with 737 MAX crisis. Now they should have fired his ass a long time ago. I mean, come on. If me or you, if you were a janitor and you miss a spot, you didn't clean that toilet right, you didn't take out that trash, your ass is, you're gonna get in trouble. But man, really fuck up something, you're not gonna stay around and not even gonna keep you employed. They should have fired him a long time ago. He knew about the cover up. They knew about the problems. Two different plane crashes, many lives lost, but yet they kept him around. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm-hmm. So let's move on. Here we go. December 23rd at 12:14. This is what I'm talking about, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Do you have 43 minutes to listen to me whine about society moving away from completely revolving around me as a Democrat? Oh, you see that beard? Do you see? Do you see what I'm talking about? It doesn't look good. And I bet he's got a pair of wraparound damn sunglasses sitting on his dash of his truck. I guess. Clean up your looks. Now, this next one. See post dated December 21st at 0637. Do you remember a post at 0637? If not, let's see what we got going on. Let's go ahead and open that on up. Do you remember me covering that? December 21st, algorithm flag, location Falls Cities, Washington. Okay. Now this right here was dropped on the 23rd. 21st to the 23rd is 2 days, correct? Just 2 days after I made that initial post. 2 days. Now, there's and what did I say? What did I say there? I'm trying to find my place. I don't have nothing scripted, so it's I just got little markers set up. Uh, I said, what did I say? Next, see breaking news. 2 6-point earthquakes happened. How far was the radius? How far from Falls City, Washington to Vancouver, British Columbia? Let's go back to that post. Falls City within 200-mile radius. Okay. It's 264 kilometers. That's 152.85 miles. Again, there's a future-proof pass. How many times must I show you something? All right. Now, don't believe me? Look at the post. Let's look at the post. Let me find it again. This one here was done, dropped on the 23rd. All right. The 23rd is see post dated December 21st. Boom. There's December 21st. Right there. Algorithm flag. There is your. We all know about the earthquake. We all know what happened. Um, what's the chances of me telling you? What are the odds? The odds of me telling you within a 200-mile radius that there was a 6.0 or greater earthquake coming. What are the odds? It's pretty good, I guess. There's the distance. You can Google it yourself. Um, that's what I did. Boom. There's where I typed it in. From kilometers to miles. Now the next post is December 24th. It's let me see what we got. Yep, Charlie was checking his list and looking at it twice to make sure everybody's fine. That was a Merry Christmas, everyone. That was pretty much what I posted to the page. That's so smug, aka Charlie or whatever you want to call him. He's a good cat. Now, December 24th. Now, would your local news or national news station lie to you? Let me go ahead and open that on up. Let's go ahead and open that on up. Let me see. Oh, I'm not going to open up. But would they lie to you? Would they go as far as putting out, for the sake of kids, what makes you think they won't do it to you? Uh, I mean, remember, the internet is really controlled by only 14 people with 7 keys. All right. Uh, if they're gonna lie to you about um, the reindeer tracking, yes, it's for the kids, but so they're them lying to the kids is okay. All right. So lying to you is even more. You're fine with that too. I'm not saying tell the kids that there's no Santa. What I'm saying is they go through so much extreme to put this thing together, um, and it won't. What they would do it to you. I mean, remember, it's controlled by 14 people with keys. And this time of year, the next post is if you can listen, if you can, it's suicide awareness. Okay, this time of year is hard on people. Just let them know you're listening. You're there for them. This way they're not alone or whatever. I mean, it's pretty tough. December 24th. You know, there's more to the story than what's being reported. There's another reason. All right, what story am I referring to? Uh, Crop duster uses spray to spray town with holy water. Do I have that post opened up? Yeah, let's go ahead and open that post on up. It says more to the story than what is being reported. Was there another reason as to why an entire town was sprayed with holy water? I want you to think biblical. What may be on earth? You know, the spiritual warfare is real, folks. I want you to think about that. I'm just giving you clues and hints. I'll let you research and let you find it out yourself. Now, on a different note, my brother. Let me tell you what my brother did on Christmas Eve. You know how it is. You get together and you're gonna. He took it and he got me $50, but his butt wrapped each $1 bill individually. Look at that. I mean, yeah, it was funny as all get out because I had no idea what it was, but everybody was laughing. All right. Uh, the next post was on the Christmas, I think it was, and it says, "This man is doing something we all need to learn how to do." Can you guess what it is? Let's look at this. What is he doing? Look at all the commotion in the background. Police cars, car flip. He's mowing his grass. He's not paying any attention to what anybody else's business. That's what we need to do sometimes. We need to pay attention to our own damn self, our own family, and keep our damn nose out of the neighbor's business. Don't keep up with the Joneses only because the Joneses got a car, only because they got. Who cares who got pregnant? Who cares who's dating who? Keep your damn nose out of people's business and deal with your own life, and you will see the drama. Cut the drama out, and your life will be a whole lot different. Let me move on. Like I said, I am. The next one, next post was December 26th at 9:17. It says join me live. That was when I was supposed to have done the show, but like I said, I've been kind of under the weather with cold and everything else. Please join me live. What we would be the best time for you? Go over the post Don't be shy. We're not professionals. I'm not a professional in any way, shape, or form. You can join me for discussion on stuff. I mean, I'll always open up the Discord lines, and you can join me. We can talk about it. Um, don't be shy. So now, December 26th, I was expecting 1420 to say something about HRC and Chelsea. I wanted to set a marker because there was signs that was suggesting that he was going to say it, which those they still haven't come, but it might, But um, sometimes, as what we do, um, we have some errors. What Q does, it's not going to come to pass 100%. There's some things that's going to not go according to plan. There's some things that not going to fall within our timeline. If you remember Operation Crossfire, where you can influence somebody's movements without them knowing it, you can control them and put them in a situation and in a place where you want them, where you need them for the final end game. Uh, that's basically the timelines can be changed sometimes. So Q is no different. Like I said, he makes mistakes, we make mistakes. So I make them, it happens. Now, anonymous player. What the hell is that? It says, this is what anonymous player said. I had played the same game against the same opponent for over a year with great intensity, and only upon winning found out that the game we had been playing was just the equivalent of a coin toss to decide the starting conditions of a much more complex game. That is the truth if you don't know it. With the deep state, with the Illuminati, with the cabal, with whatever you want to call them, you think you can fight it and fight it, and you think you just getting to the point, then you realize the board just opened up even more. More players hit the board. More. Uh, it's just a never-ending battle. I mean, in spiritual warfare, it's been going back and forth, back and forth. Um, that's the truth as I can ever say it right there. All right, next one. Okay, I know you're like me and belong to several different groups. And when you're in a 41020 pro group, and when you see a stupid post asking, "Hey, are you voting Trump? Are you gonna be behind Trump? Are you supporting Trump? Aren't you in a pro group? Aren't you supporting Trump already? Aren't this group is nothing but a pro Trump group? What the? I mean, that's the look you want to give them. That's the look right there. You want to just like, okay, all right. Remember, on December 27th. Now, this is I said shit's being hid. I saw yesterday where North Korea launched a missile and it landed off the I want to say Japan's water or Taiwan's. Okay, did you so happen to see the report or have I been looking at a different timeline? I'm sure I seen the report on the Christmas uh, surprise that Kim Jong Un was trying to. Uh, he was going to give the United States. I'm sure there was a launch. I mean, I remember seeing it, but again, I could be looking at a different timeline, looking at different stuff. Um, Either way, okay. What on December 27th at 1546? It said, "What is the most serious threat facing America as we come to a new year?" Let me go ahead and open that up for you so you can read it with me. What is the most serious threat facing America as we come to a new year? Cyber attacks from China, North Korea's nuclear capability, a new Cold War with Russia. Let me go ahead and the ongoing fight against Islamic terrorists. Now, all of these are very significant threats. However, the biggest threat to America is not from the outside nations, it's from within. The United States is the most blessed nation on earth, and that's because our forefathers gave us the foundation based on God and His Word. The biggest threat to our country's future is that we turned our back on God, and He gave His hand of the blessing. He removed His hand of blessing. Uh, we need to come back to the old values, okay, that we have abandoned. You need to spend time with your family. You need to pray. Um, have those Sunday dinners, like I said, not out at a restaurant, but at a family's house. Um, I get sidetracked, and I apologize. It's because the Lord will send a blessing on your barns and on your own everything you put your hand to. The Lord, your God, will bless you in the land He is giving you. That's Deuteronomy. But yeah, we need to go back and um, um, back to some things that we've lost. Now, this story, I don't know if you remember, if you've been following me. Mexican authorities have arrested a municipal police chief for his suspected links to killing of 3 women and 6 children in Mexico last month. Let me, okay. Hmm, let me see here. It says Mexican authorities have arrested a municipal police chief for his suspected links to the killing of 3 women and 6 children of the U.S. Mexican origin in northern Mexico last month. Local media and an official said Friday suspected drug cartel hitmen shot dead the 9 women and children from families of Mormon origin in Sonora State on November 4th, sparking outrage in Mexico and the United States. Several Mexican media outlets reported that law enforcement agents arrested Fidel Aguirre Valles, uh, police chief of the municipality of Juárez, which lies in the neighboring state of Chinchilla, on suspicion of involvement in crime. The report said he is suspected of having ties to organized crime, but details of his alleged role was not clear. A federal official speaking on conditions of anonymity confirmed the arrest of the Vegas, which follows the detention of other suspects earlier in the investigation. Mexican officials believe the women and children were killed after becoming caught up in a dispute between local drug cartels battling for control of the area. Under pressure from the Trump administration, Mexican President Obrador sought U.S. cooperation with the case, inviting the FBI to help in the investigation. Now, there's more to that story. I told you way back. You need to look at the guys and what they were involved in. They were not completely innocent. Now, let me see. 66, 67. Oh yeah. In the video obtained by the Times, platoon members accuse Gallagher. Now, Gallagher, I know you know who Gallagher is. Um, he was the one that was pardoned by President Trump. Let me go ahead and continue. Let me read a little bit of this, and then I will put my 2 cents worth in. hmm Let me go ahead and put my 2 cents worth in just a second. Let me. Um, I've lost my place. Okay. It says leaked video show obtained by New York Times shows SEALs describing Eddie Gallagher as toxic and evil. Members of SEAL Team 7 Alpha Platoon described their platoon leader, retired Special Operations Chief Eddie Gallagher, as toxic and evil, according to a video recordings of the interview obtained by the New York Times. Gallagher's war crimes case gained national attention after President Donald Trump controversy intervened on his behalf, ignoring Pentagon leaders who had told the president such a move could damage the integrity of the military judicial system. The guy is freaking evil, Special Operator First Class Greg Miller said of Gallagher during his interview with Naval Criminal Investigation Service agents. the Times reported, you can tell he was perfectly okay with killing anybody that was moving. Special Operator First Class Corey Scott said his former platoon leader, the newspaper reported. The guy was toxic. Special Operator First Class Joshua Veras told investigators, the report said. In the videos obtained by the Times, the platoon members accused Gallagher of shooting at a 12-year-old, referred to Gallagher as a psychopath, and tell of rumors that Gallagher had targeted civilians. Okay. The video interviews were concluded in a hoard of Navy investigative materials the Times received about prosecution of Gallagher, who was accused of war crimes. They provided a rare insight to the elite force with a code of silence, and into the men of Alpha Platoon SEAL Team 7, who had never spoken publicly about the case against their former platoon leader. The SEALs declined to comment to the Times. This is what Gallagher has said in a statement. My first reaction to seeing the videos was surprise and disgust that they would make up blatant lies about me, but I quickly realized that they were scared that the truth would come out of how cowardly they acted on deployment. He said, I felt sorry for them, that they thought it necessary to smear my name, but never realized what the consequences of lies would be. As upset as I was, the videos also gave me confidence because I knew that their lies would never hold up under real questioning, and the jury would see through it. Their lies and Navy Criminal Investigative Services refused to ask hard questions or corroborate their stories, strengthened my resolve to go to trial and clear my name. Timothy Paylor, Gallagher's lawyer, said the SEALs team's interviews contained falsehoods and consistencies that formed a clear roadmap to the acquittal. A decorated SEAL team leader, Gallagher was convicted in July of bringing discredit to the armed forces after posing in a photo next to a dead ISIS fighter body in 2017 in Iraq, which is against regulations. He was acquitted of premeditated murder and the death of an ISIS prisoner in Iraq. That case took a turn when a key prosecution witness testified that he caused the prisoner's death, not Gallagher. Special Operator First Class Corey Scott, a SEAL medic, said he saw Gallagher pull out his knife and stab the prisoner under his collarbone at least once. On the cross-examiner, Scott told the defense that he never saw any blood after the stabbing. That was when Scott claimed he caused the prisoner's death by holding his thumb over his trachea tube until he suffocated. Scott described the killings as an act of mercy because he was concerned the boy, a prisoner of the Iraqi forces, would be tortured by the Iraqis. Following the trial, Gallagher was demoted in rank, a decision Trump reversed and moved that angered military officials and led to a review of Gallagher's status in the elite group. Gallagher retired from the Navy on November 30th as planned. All right, I got a little video here. Let me see if I can pull it up. Ooh, here we go. Just a second.
By the SEALs of Alpha Platoon SEAL Team 7 in never-before-seen video.
Watch Judy Sue and Rob Elgas on ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 4.
Guy's freaking evil, man.
Evil, toxic, crazy. Just some of the words used by the SEALs of Alpha Platoon SEAL Team 7 in never-before-seen video acquired exclusively by The Weekly. They describe Special Operations Chief Edward Gallagher, who was accused of committing war crimes, including murder, while in Iraq in 2017. The confidential interviews, along with photos, texts, and documents, part of Navy investigative materials, and part of a new documentary by the New York Times, currently available on Hulu and airing this Sunday on FX. Gallagher was acquitted in the deadly stabbing of a teenage ISIS captive, but was found guilty of posing with a corpse, which resulted in Gallagher being demoted. His colleagues alleging a pattern of grim conduct.
I saw Eddie take a shot at probably a 12-year-old kid. The guy got crazier and crazier.
The men breaking an unspoken code of silence.
This is a case where some SEALs who are not supposed to take things outside the family turned in their own chief.
President Trump repeatedly intervened on Gallagher's behalf, dismissing concerns about his behavior, even reversing his demotion and stopping a Navy review that could have stripped Gallagher of his Trident pin, which establishes him as a SEAL.
With Eddie Gallagher, you know that story very well. They wanted to take his pin away, and I said, no, you're not going to take it away. He was a great fighter.
Just last week, Gallagher posted on Instagram a photo showing him and his wife attending a party at the president's Mar-a-Lago resort, and that they gave Trump a gift from Mosul.
This is all about ego and retaliation. This has nothing to do with good order and discipline.
Gallagher's attorney, Tim Parlatore, is downplaying the videos and texts obtained by the Times, telling ABC News the interviews with Gallagher's fellow SEALs were, quote, all over the map and extremely helpful to Gallagher's defense.
All right. Well, you get the point of that. You get the point. Let me go ahead and you get the point. Oh, well, I done lost my place. I guess I didn't. Hold on. Like I said, this is all live, so all right. 64. All right. I've got to find my place again. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go. I found it. Again, let me tell you about. Look, I have been in the Patriot movement. I have been over the Middle East. I have been shot. I have served this country. I have over 3 decades serving this country. I have watched over while people slept peacefully at night. What I'm about to say is probably fixing to piss a lot of people off, and I really don't care. I believe in helping vets when vets can help themselves. For example, do I think that Trump should have intervened? No. But he's the president. Let him do as he wishes. All right? But for years, okay, as a state commander and as a national leader that I took in homeless vets. We put them down on the border. We gave them food. We gave them a place to stay, and gave them something to do. Okay, they patrolled the border. They were doing good. Now, after they come back off their border ops, border duty, I have a camper. I had different places. I had rental properties that I'd put them in. Now, I'm losing funds because I'm putting somebody else in when I could be written it out. But no, it wasn't about the money. I'm not all about money. You're going to realize that. I would take these vets in. I'd put a roof over their head. I'd find them a job. I'd feed them. I'd even give them clothes. But you know what I got in return? I got fucked. Straight, plain and simple. They were all about themselves. Look at me. Here's my card. I'm a vet. You owe me. I fought for this country, motherfucker. I don't know you. Look, I was over there in the sandbox. Was you there? Well, I was a. What did you do? I was a watchman on the back of a boat if somebody was to fall off. Oh, okay. So you didn't see no combat. You didn't get shot. You didn't do that. Well, no. Okay, but I owe you. And you expect other people to owe you. Well, yeah, I'm a vet. Well, there's a problem with that. Okay? That's the problem. We need to police our own. We need to deal with our own in the vet movement because they're also using the Patriot movement They're using the Patriot movement, plain and simple, only because they're a vet. Because they know the Patriots gonna kiss their ass. They gonna run that nose so far up their ass and give them everything that they need: food, place to stay, and everything else. Plain and simple. And from that point on, after helping numerous vets, I have stopped it. I've done cut it off. Me being a vet myself, I have cut it off. I will, and if somebody comes up to me wearing a vet hat, or if they first thing say I'm a vet too, I just completely wipe my hands of them. I don't even have nothing to do with them. I don't even give the man a chance. I just continue to walk on. I mean, I hope you understand what I'm getting at. Radio broadcaster on December 27th, we all know who Don Imus is. He died. Don Imus, he was he got in some trouble. He used some racial slurs a couple of years ago. I don't remember how many. It's been a while. He lost a lot of sponsors and what was it, XM Radio and a whole bunch of other stuff. He got in trouble, but yeah, he passed away on the 27th. But everybody comes to an end. Now, this right here was interesting. On the 28th, New Year's honors 1,000. New Year's honors 1,000 addresses published in error. A list of more than 1,000 addresses of New Year's honors recipients, including the House of Senior Police Officers and politicians and Elton John. And it's published by. It was accidentally leaked on the web. They accidentally published their addresses on the web. I mean, it was a big data breach. And now on the 28th, I also posted, this is some reality for the day, okay? And this is the damn truth. If you look at the, I guess, what is it, the Alien movie, our phones control us, folks. And you know I'm speaking the truth. We can't go nowhere. I'm as guilty, okay? I'm tied to my phone. That son of a gun is I'm like a drug addict. Oh, I gotta get my internet fixed. I mean, we all like that. If you're off without Facebook or if you're off without anything, we're gonna be fucked. You're gonna be screwed. You're gonna be completely screwed if something happens to the internet or the infrastructure. Plain and simple. Good luck. Our kids, yeah, they don't even know how to read a map. Now, this post, I'm really was considering this. It was on December 29th at 5 in the morning, 5:44 in the morning, and I wrote it. As the new year approaches, well, let me go ahead and open that up for you so we can read it together. As the new year approaches, I am thinking about a few things. Close this page down. No more live broadcasts. Cutting all news and political out of my life. Going back dark and going underground. Why, you ask? Only a handful share the post and not many watch the videos. I get more dislikes than actual likes. I created this for you, the people, to have a voice. But when no one wants to join in on any topic, I think to myself, what's the point in all this? I mean, really, what's the point? I can and do have things that I can better do with my time. I did not even ask. I don't ask for donations, okay? And it looks like that didn't matter to you either. Unless something changes my mind, then I'm out. This is my last broadcast. Go ahead and follow the ones who's in it for your money. I'm sure they don't have an agenda-free channel. It's sad. I heard many patriots always bitching about not being heard over the 3 decades that I have been with the movement. There was no excuse with the YouTube channel. I guess no matter what, a point was proven again when it comes to the patriot communities. No matter what, you're going to bitch and cry about something and put the blame on others and not and look where it should be looking. That's at your own self. It's so fucking sad that the patriot community has done lost their own fight. I mean, it's the truth. I mean, y'all always wanting to always talking, always got, always. It's not about the likes, okay, folks? It's not about the, it's about the interaction. Now, I have got a lot of support, a positive support, from that post. A lot of people have great, kind words. They have posted a lot of stuff. Now, if I do come back, if I do decide to come back, there will be some changes, okay? I will, because evidently y'all want to give your money away. I will start asking for donations. Now, I won't be pissing it away like all these other people do. I will invest it in some better equipment. I invested in even if somebody might need a place to stay or something to eat, I might give a patriot some food or something. I mean, the money is not going to be just piddled away. But I think what it is, because the channel's been free and there's no one invested any time or anything into it, people don't care. But once somebody invests their little bit of money into it as a donation or a little bit of time, then they care about it a little bit more. But here it goes again. I'm really at a crossroads, because if I take donations, then I have to allow just about anybody onto the page, onto the show. Some of the topics, I don't want to censor them, but I'm not going to put up with anybody talking any sexual shit either. I refuse to. I don't care what it is. We just can't do that. We can't. So you think about it. Wasn't whining. I can care less. Like I said, I know I put out this stuff. I know what's coming, but I'm just trying to warn you. I'm trying to tell you what's up. I'm asking for help, some way, some shape. I'm looking for I guess a sign. I mean, if I could just help one family, then it's been all worth it. Plain and simple. But with the Patriot community, I don't know what in the hell's going on with you folks. Well, let's go ahead and move on. Now this was on December 29th. If you live in the South, please be weather aware. We know that there was a lot of storms coming through. There was a lot of tornadoes that happened from these storms. I try to warn you ahead of time, just let you know, be weather aware, because you could have loss of life and property, in which there was some property being lost. Matter of fact, I've seen some reports where car got swept off and they drowned. So yes. Now, this one is developing. 2 dead, 1 wounded in a shooting at church in White Settlement, Texas. Let me go ahead and move on up, and let me make sure I got my marker set, because like I said, I don't run a scripted show, and I want to make sure. Okay, go to 80 now. 80. Let's go ahead and the man who took out the active shooter at Texas. We know 6 seconds is all it took, and it was all over with. I mean, but that 6 seconds was a long time. All right. It was a position that Jack Wilson's the name up on the screen right now. He said he hoped no one would ever have to, he hoped he was never have to be in. Wilson was one of the ones who shot and killed the man Sunday after the man opened fire in a church near Fort Worth, Texas. Out of everything that happened, there was one moment Jack Wilson keeps replaying. And this is a quote. He said, "Probably Richard White getting shot and knowing at that point, as the shooter turned towards Tony Wallace, that it's going to happen," said Wilson. The gunman has been identified as 43-year-old Keith Thomas Coonan of River Oaks. Coonan shot 2 people before he was killed in the Sunday morning attack at West Freeway Baptist Church of Christ, said White Settlement Police Chief J.P. Brevings. Both of these congregates later died, according to authorities. Within 6 seconds, 6 seconds of the gunman displaying his weapon, the shooting was over. Armed, they rushed to surround the gunman, who had fallen to the floor. Wilson said he and other church security were watching the gunman before the shooting because he came into the sanctuary wearing a fake beard and a wig. He was also wearing a long coat. "I don't consider myself a hero," is what he said, "at all. I did what I was trained to do," Wilson said for his action. He described the moments when the gunman stood up and shot Tony Wallace and Richard White. He shot Richard because Richard and I were both drawing our weapons at the same time, Wilson said. Then he shot Richard, and then he shot Tony Wallace. Wilson said he couldn't shoot back right away because people were starting to stand up. About a second later, he said he had a clear shot, then I took it. Okay. I am very sad the loss of my two friends, Wilson, but I don't feel like I killed a human being. I killed evil, and that's how I'm processing it. On Facebook, he wrote, I am thankful to God that I have been blessed with the ability and desire to serve him in the role of head security at the church. Wilson's Facebook post had hundreds of comments and thousands of shares by Monday morning. He's running for Hood County Precinct Commissioner number 3. Many called him a hero, including government leaders. We know Trump and everything else. He just tweeted tonight about him. He said, a concerned citizen, this is what Wilson said. A concerned citizen, he said, a concerned church member doing what I can to protect the people of the congregation. Wilson commented, SIG 229-357 SIG, indicating the type of gun that was used Sunday. For the people who don't know anything about a SIG 229, it appears to be a shorthand for the Sig Sauer pistol, which the company describes as being trusted by law enforcement professionals for decades. In early December, Wilson posted an introduction to himself and his campaign on his page, saying he has worked with law enforcement. He is running for Hood County Commissioner's seat in the county's 2020 election. In his description, he said he has served as Hood County's Reserve Deputy Sheriff from 1980 to 86 and is currently a Texas Commission on Law Enforcement Instructor and Concealed Handgun License Carry Instructor. One of his campaign tenets is to ensure the public safety and peaceful resolution of conflicts through the justice system and other public processes in Hood County. He's been married for 51 years. He said he lives and raised his family in Gainesbury and Hood County for the past 42 years. His apparent campaign slogan, created weeks before the shooting took place, was eerily related to Sunday's events. It says, quote, make sure your vote is on target. In a post thanking the community for his support during the difficult time, Wilson said he would not allow evil to win. Evil does not exist in this world, and other members are not going to allow evil to succeed, he wrote. He also asked his followers to pray for the church members and their families and thanked those who had already shared their prayers and condolences with him. I am very sad in the loss of my two dear friends and brothers in Christ. And that was Mr. Wilson. I mean, that's a perfect example of a good guy with a handgun, with a gun at the right place at the right time. I mean, I know my church where I go to, we got armed security. I would hate for you to come in there because let's just say it's a small church. Let's say 100 people. Probably 80 of them will have a weapon. So you won't walk out of there. You ain't gonna kill a whole lot of people either. Now, what is this one? Next post coming up. December 29th at 1348. Let's see December 3rd at 0416. All right. So if I drop this on December 29th at 148, and I'm referring to the post dated December 23rd. Let's look at that post December 23rd. Or, matter of fact, no, let's just go ahead and open this post on up first. Let me see what I said. It says, see post dated December 23rd at 4:16. Not even a full week, only 6 days, I asked you a few simple questions. Next, see news for today. What happened? You may think I'm full of shit at times, but you need to be paying attention. What is it? Have you been paying attention? Have you been paying attention? How to use this possible false flag? Just letting you go ahead and run up that post. You remember that post? Let me keep going on up. Remember that post, don't you? This was about the church shooting, as you see. The algorithms flagged an event possible, something happening. Unlike that other post that I did, where it was within 200 miles of Falls City, Washington. This one, there were signs pointing to something. Also, let's go ahead and move on to another one. I'm going to throw you another proof out there. Let's go back to post dated August 9th at 04:22. What did I say back there? Next, CNews Microsoft News poll dated for today. Okay, that was December 29th. That's today. That was today. It says August 9th at 04. See it? Okay, it says, I have been warning you that they will try to label you as a domestic terrorist. Remember, you can go back. Facebook keeps timestamps. Timestamps are important for you to refer back to. Now, I've been telling you they will try to make you a domestic terrorist. Why? Because look, do you agree or disagree with the FBI's designation of QAnon as a possible domestic terrorist threat? See, this is a Microsoft News poll. Now, why would they be doing that? I'm just saying. Now, here goes back to that other post. This is your so-called leader for the malicious march on Richmond. All right. Let me go ahead and open that on up. Or let's see, what is this one? Oh shoot. Here we go. There he is. There's your so-called leader. Now look at him. Look. I guarantee you he's got a pair of wraparound sunglasses in his truck or his vehicle. He's got that beard. That nasty ass look. It ain't even cleaned up. Now, his name is John. And I'm going to go over some things with John. Let me see what happens. Boy, this is your so-called leader for the March on Richmond. Is he recognized through the council or the council of councils? Hell no, he's not. Remember what I said about cleaning up your looks. That nasty ass beard is nothing more for us to profile you with. Trust me, he's suffering from narcissistic personality disorder, a form of schizophrenia. Go ahead and follow him and see where that gets you. As Q has said in the past, careful who you follow. This is just one example of many fake-ass patriots who want to feel good because they think they are a real fucking commander. Have fun in prison or being cannon fodder. I mean, this is the letter that he posted, and I am going to read it to you because you can't see it on the screen. But in the meantime, I will let you look at this guy right here. His name is John, and I want you to follow him. I mean, you do what you want. And it says, militias join Virginia's lobby day, January 20th, 2020. In Richmond, Virginia is the day that all the county will be watching. Lobby days are not uncommon. However, this particular lobby day is quickly becoming a landmark in history. Tommy Lee, spokesman for the militias march on the Capitol, is quoted as saying, with Virginia's Second Amendment activists and Strout constitutionalists fighting law against a new blue government, this day has all the markings of a perfect storm, with the cornucopia of groups and people from across the nation to have their say on gun control laws. The militia are no different. John Cody, there he is. Oh, there's your beautiful guy. He's the state leader, for South Carolina Lightfoot Special Response Team and organizer. Now, see, no, he thinks he's the state leader. In his mind, he thinks, but you know what? Y'all patriots y'all just stick y'all nose up his ass and go follow him. Now, hold on. Let me continue reading this thing here. All right. He says, organizer of the march on Capitol State. It is quote. This is every citizen's obligation to protect the Constitution as well as it was intended by our forefathers. John Cody feels that it was every dangerous new bill he supports a direct unconstitutional law, primarily. Anyway, his email is Hawkeye. I mean, come on now. Let me ask you this question. He's South Carolina. All right. Why is South Carolina sticking their nose? I mean, yes, so much trying to coordinate something. Is he the regional commander for South Carolina and Virginia and all them? Is he? I don't think so. Who elected him to the state leader position? I mean, for his, I'm just saying. And yet, you want to follow him. And it's not going to go as you think. It's not going to go as you think it's going to go, folks. I'm telling you. I've been a patriot. I've been out there. I have been boots on the ground. I have been on the border. I have been hot. I have been cold. I have been in some hot zones that I didn't think I was going to walk out of it again. I have been to the Bundys. I've been to Oregon. I can name all the, I mean, keep on and keep on. But when I see people that, well, looks like this, I mean, got the same beards, the same wraparound sunglasses. Like I said, I guarantee he's got a pair in his car he keeps with him. These people don't look good for the movement, all right? Remember I said there's a way of profiling you. I want you to think of the last post that I've done. 5 agents per 1 patriot. That's going to be working the crowd, okay? Think about that for a second. Excuse me. If there's that many, this guy right here, I'm going to tell you what is going to happen. He's going to guide you into doing the shit, and he's going to protect his little ass and try to use you as a scapegoat and try to be like, oh, no, I don't know nothing about it, man. No, they just took it upon themselves. Trust me. Distance yourself away from him. Cut ties with him. But you know what? You're grown adults. If you want to follow him, if you want to stick your nose so far up somebody's ass, he's the man for you. I guarantee you, with his beard looking like that, his hygiene ain't good. So bury that fucking nose far up his ass as you want. You might like. He might even find a kernel of corn for you too. But please, let me go ahead and move it on. And this brings me to when I'm on Facebook and I see a post that has 2 comments, but I can only see 1. That means I blocked that motherfucker. I blocked him. Okay, and I do have an account that I use for people who post keywords, Epstein or anything that's got something to do with any sexual anything. They're blocked instantly. So when I go to some of these QAnon groups and I see it's got a couple comments and I can only see 1 or 2, I'm like, yep, that account got your ass, didn't it? Get the fuck on out of here. I mean, but no, I really want you to think about what I said tonight, and remember about the 200-mile earthquake within. I want you to think about the shooting. I want you to think about the just some of the proofs that I've showed you tonight. I'm telling you, now it's not going to go like you think it's going to go in Virginia. It's going to be more like the Connecticut stuff where they tell you to register your weapons. But overall, I don't see them kicking in your door. I just don't see that. I can't. I mean, not right now. But now, if you go down there and you show your ass, you carry your weapon, your long arm, in March, and then Antifa shows up, which they are showing up. I have been watching their pages. I'm telling you, Antifa's coming too. You just don't know it. I'm telling you, Antifa is on their way. They're going to be there. You're going to have 5 agents per 1 patriot. Then you're going to have Antifa there causing problems. Then you're going to have it. Then the agent provocateurs are going to try to provoke you into doing something so they can pass these laws, so they can round you up, so they can, because they can block off an area and not let nobody in or out and just take you on to jail and put you off the board. So that means commanders off the board. That means they don't have a reserve force. They don't even have communication set up because the list goes on, is all I'm saying. You want to do it, you're an adult, you do it, you pay it. You pay the piper at the end. I don't want to hear that you was not warned. I don't want to see people crying, well, I followed the wrong person. I don't want to hear that. I'm just being straight up with you. Like I said, over 3 decades of doing this, I know who's who in the movement. I know who's legit. And if their name is not sanctioned or recognized through the Council of Councils, I'm sorry. You just a make-believe wannabe that just threw the rank on yourself. Have fun. But yet, y'all go ahead and follow him. Go right ahead. This brings me to my closing, okay? I'm going to go ahead and open up the lines here in a minute. But let me go ahead and say this. We're living in a time that you need to pray. We're living in a time that there's a lot of evil out there. I want you to think about the 4 B's. Your beans, your bullets, your bandages, and your Bible. Your beans, you're going to need them for nourishment in any fight or anything that's coming up. Same as that Bible. It will give you your nourishment. Your bandages, you might need that to cover you, to protect you, to patch you up. The Bible will do the same thing for you. Just read it. Your bullets, you might need to defend and shoot, defend yourself. And that's the way that with the Word of God in the Bible, you can defend a lot with that, or your faith. And then, of course, like I said, the Bible, the beans, bullets, bandages, and your Bible. Your Bible, you're going to need it because you're going to need to pray. It gets bad enough, you're gonna have to do some things that you may not like to do, or it's out of your comfort zone, and you're going to need to pray about it. That's all there's to it. I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight. This is the last show of the decade, and it might even be my last show, period. I might just disappear. I might go underground. But I will be around. You just won't see me. You won't know who I am. I'll be lurking in the background. Remember, they can't cage you. They can't cage me. Don't create that cage in your own head.
Let that clip roll. You can't cage us, cage us. You can't cage us, cage us. No, no. You can't cage us like an animal. You can't cage us like an animal. No, you better back down or break through these walls. You better move like my name was Biggie Smalls. I'm like the guy of Grease running around, holding it down, ready to smite your sound and rage. I kill him every single time I'm off the leash. This dog bites even the hand that feeds. Beyond the streets, we get it on the beach, and then we take it down to the Isle of Creek. Cause I celebrate and lift my hands and revelate the sacred land. Cause I wanna break free, it's in my human nature. I'm gonna fight it cause I'm naughty by nature. And it's not cause I hate you, and I wanna debate you, but I wanna detain you, take you straight to Albania. Yeah, I'm gonna rage. You better watch it cause I'm breaking out this cage. You can't cage us, cage us. You can't cage us, cage us. No, no. You can't cage us like an animal. You can't cage us like an animal.
Propped on the block where the pigs eat slop. Straight off the floor of the office at the top. Like they're walking a dog with the leash on. Like a reverend getting his preach on. Wrapped around my neck, it's like a high-tech way to sign a blank check. Waiting for a subject, never ceases to amaze us. That all we left with is peanuts. Half of the time you defy, it's a sci-fi time when you fight for your right. So with all your might, we're breaking out of these chains, cause we're so out of here. No, nothing can hold us down. Stop locking us up and walking down the
can't cage us. You can't cage us. No, no. Get me out of here. Get me out. You can't cage us like an animal.